while I introduce our next presenters. They are from WuXi Advanced Therapies. They are Jordan Lovett, Senior Director of Business Development, Manufacturing Sales, and Simona Yusite, Global Head of Testing, Business Development. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Perry. WuXi Advanced Therapies is a contract testing, development, and manufacturing organization. We have a presence in China, the UK, and of course in the US, where Philadelphia is really the focus for everything that we're doing cell and gene therapy wise. Through that acquisition of the European site, the UK site, which was Oxgene formerly, we've added to our upstream capabilities so that that continuum there, that span of capabilities now ranges everything from research and discovery all the way through late stage pivotal manufacturing for these products. And now, as of a few months ago, even BLA approved commercial manufacturing for cell therapies. The focus modality wise for WuXi Advanced Therapies is mostly in the advanced therapies arena on viral vectors and cell therapies. On the testing front, we've long been a powerhouse in the external testing arena for cell and gene therapies and traditional biologics. On the viral vector front, specifically, our experience is mostly centered around AAV manufacturing. We have quite a bit of lentiviral vector manufacturing as well. Not just for ex vivo use as part of some of our CAR T products and externally produced CAR T products, but we also have lentiviral vector products that we're manufacturing for in vivo generation of CAR T. So some of the newer age advanced therapies that you're seeing out there. On the cell therapy side, of course, everyone knows, I think now that we're a commercial TIL manufacturer, we have a bit of GMP MSC manufacturing early through late phase, and probably what I would refer to as our bread and butter offering would be our allogeneic and autologous CAR T manufacturing. To date, on the cell therapy front alone, we've manufactured more than 2,500 lots, GMP lots, that range from early through commercial phase. I wanted to drop in a QR code here that you can scan and do a interactive tour of the Philadelphia campus after the presentation, if you'd like to take a look at our more than 400,000 square feet worth of facilities that we have, all in the Philadelphia Navy Yard in South Philadelphia. The facilities that you'll see there are these four facilities pictured here. The top right facility is really our legacy facility. It was where our testing has long taken place on the analytical and QC front. We do also have some process development capabilities there. We do a little bit of early phase clinical manufacturing there. We've previously even done commercial manufacturing at this site, but have since moved those capabilities to our newer manufacturing facilities in the bottom right and the bottom middle. But I want to first just mention the facility in the bottom left is our newest state-of-the-art integrated testing laboratory. So a lot of those QC and AD capabilities I mentioned have now migrated to that Navy Yard facility that we call R400. So that facility is great because it integrates all of the testing for what we're manufacturing on site in Philly, but it's also an external testing site where we service many of our competitors on the manufacturing front, particularly for viral vectors and traditional biologics. But in the bottom middle, we have our CC3 facility. That's where we do our commercial TIL manufacturing. Currently, that facility has 6 total suites, 6 total clean rooms, many of them being used now for commercial production, but we do have one available suite ready to be taken off the market for anybody that requires either late pivotal type production, commercial production, or just something that's large throughput in nature. The bottom right facility is a 150,000 foot facility, also in the Philly Navy Yard. It's broken into 2 floors. So the second floor has cell and vector capabilities. There's 8 suites on that floor, one of them currently available. Many of the suites on that floor are outfitted too for viral vector production and set up for particularly for 200-liter suspension production. We can do adherent processes in there as well. We do have 500-liter reactors in one of those suites, and they are built with capability. So they're built with hi-hats to be able to accommodate anything up through 2,000-liter production. So we are certainly set up for late phase commercial manufacturing on the viral vector side as well, I would say. On the first floor of that facility, we have 11 suites. Most of those are set up for cell therapy processes, many of them CAR T in nature, both autologous and allogeneic. We do have a little bit of vacancy upcoming in the next few months as one of the programs that we have in there winds down. So there will be a little bit of CAR T capacity coming available as well. We have something like 64 different projects managed across this site. Most of them early clinical in nature, phase 1, phase 2, more than 50 of them, but 5 of those are late phase and now 2 transitioning or have recently transitioned to commercial manufacturing. So we wanted to talk a little bit about our approach to IND enabling studies, because we do have clientele that span really the potential client paradigm. We have everything from small virtual startups all the way through mid-sized biotech and even large pharma. And the needs that come with those clients are very different and can be vastly different from one another. So we have clients that are looking to transfer processes that I'll say are academic in nature and require quite a bit of process development. We can do that development in-house. We can develop a process from scratch if needed, but if time is of the essence, we can of course drop you into one of our closed Miltenyi processes that we have in-house in order to expedite that process to engineering batches that you can use to file an IND. We can overlap some of these steps in order to save time when needed. Or if you want to just transfer an already validated locked process for like a mid-stage, mid-phase, or even late-stage commercial type study, we can do that as well. So we do present quite a bit of optionality, I'd like to say, at the site. The same goes for testing in many ways because of the testing that we have. So we can integrate all of the different assays that we either have off the shelf, or the client, can tech transfer what you have and we can help you develop those assays. Or again, you can develop an already validated assay that you can own, but we will run on your behalf. So the possibilities there are unlimited. I mentioned the 62 different clinical assets that we're managing in Philadelphia, and I think in many ways out of the LI2 and LI1 facilities pictured here, it's because of the co-located testing that we have. So you could produce your product at one site and, if needed, walk it across the street for either in process or that final release testing. This is just a closer look at the commercial manufacturing site that I mentioned. So we have in this facility one product that now, as of a few months ago, is being commercially produced and capable of producing upwards of 40, 50 batches per month out of that facility. Further to that point, this just kind of outlines that specific instance and the idea that we can really take a a product with an academic process from early preclinical development all the way through BLA approval and commercial manufacturing. So this specific asset, we transferred in the process, helped do some process development, saw it through early clinical development. I think some of the other speakers have mentioned, sometimes the focus is more so on getting into the clinic, and then in that downtime in between, you develop what is really that late phase or commercial process that becomes more scalable and appropriate for commercial production. But in this case, we also were able to assist them, not just on the manufacturing side, but the testing side. So this product is first in class TIL product, so has never been a commercial approval on this type of product before. So it took a lot of work to develop the potency assay, more than 3 years to really work towards something that was deemed acceptable by the FDA, and we were able to assist them in doing that. And so this relationship has now spanned more than 7 years, and at that point signed a commercial supply agreement. And now we have a BLA approved product that we're doing commercial manufacturing for. So it's really a phenomenal success story. And then I wanted to kick it over to my co-presenter, Simona, to talk a little bit about those testing facilities that I mentioned.
Thank you, Jordan. So good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. One of the things that makes WuXi Advanced Therapies unique from other CDMOs is the fact that we do have this external testing division. We truly started as a testing organization over 20 years ago, supporting a wide range of modalities, where it started with monoclonals, proteins, and vaccines, and now it's really focusing on a lot of that advanced therapies within the cell and gene vector space. For our partners who might not have GMP capabilities, or even CMOs who are not able to fully release the testing packages in-house, we're here to support your preclinical to commercial characterization and lot release testing. The way our testing organization is divided is within the analytical development teams and testing services teams. So our AD team is there for a three-prong approach. The first part is looking into new technologies, market, what is needed to support our partners, and developing and bringing those assays in-house. The second part is transfer. So again, if you're somebody that does not have GMP capabilities, or you're looking for a release partner, we're able to transfer your methods and either qualify them or validate them based on your particular phase. And then lastly, development. So Jordan touched on this a little bit earlier. Potency is something that is crucial within the CGT space. We hear that. That's really something where our AD team has a lot of experience and capabilities to be able to develop methods for our clients as well, who might not have those internal resources or capabilities. Our testing services team is divided within molecular, virology, microbiology, and bioanalytical testing. And the idea of this is what we consider routine testing. So it's really getting your sample through the door and releasing it as fast as possible, either utilizing our internally qualified assays or your product-specific qualified or validated assays for the issuance of the C of A. The other part of our testing services is we also offer viral clearance studies. So viral clearance has been around for decades. It's something that is regulatory required for monoclonal and protein products. However, with the new Q5A regulations that were updated at the end of last year, it's also a need for AV clients. So we're really here to assist you in helping you scale down your manufacturing process. We're able to perform viral clearance studies on your behalf, and we also welcome you to come on site to perform those yourselves. And then lastly, cell banking. We really have experience with human, murine, or insect cell lines. An example, we're able to produce master working or end of production cell banks, and having this internal testing capabilities that, once again, vast for decades, we're able to fully characterize your banks within one facility. And that really cuts down on your timelines and is able to release your banks as well as your lots or batches a lot faster. This is an example of a holistic standard lot release package for cell therapy. We offer these for every modality that we support. So, and as example, this is divided into 4 buckets. So it has those product-specific assays that are crucial. So once again, potency, identity, vector copy numbers. Then it goes into general safety, mycoplasma, sterility, endotoxin. We're able to offer these as USP methods, but also for our CNGT partners, we're able to offer these as rapid approaches to once again really be able to push the products as fast as possible, either through the clinic or to the patient. There's additional safety assays that are really based on your risk assessment. So if there's animal-derived products that are used, or if it's a gene-mediated cell therapy they're utilizing, it could be specific virus screening assays that we could be performing, or replication competence screening. And then lastly, it's the general characteristics, right? So it's the USP, the compendial assays for color, appearance, pH, osmolality, that is really there to release your drug substance and drug product. And with that, we just want to conclude by saying that WuXi Advanced Therapies has a robust track record that demonstrates ability to deliver and scale. For our manufacturing partners, it's been really nice to have the integrated testing, which is done within one campus, right? It follows the same GMP and quality approaches and really reduces the risk and accelerates the timelines. And for external testing partners, having everything within one facility makes it incredibly easy to do one sample submission, then is able to be distributed to different labs to really expedite your timelines as much as possible. As of today, we have capacity for new projects. So as Jordan covered, within the 3 manufacturing facilities that we have, as well as the newer testing facility that opened up about 3 years ago, we're really focused in doubling or tripling our capacity as we're realizing testing is a large bottleneck in the market. So with that, we'll take any questions that you guys have, and just thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Great presentation, Jordan and Simona. So I think this question would go to you, Simona. So a lot of really robust capabilities in analytical development and testing. Can you talk a little bit more about how that's integrated with the manufacturing, your manufacturing on that single campus?
Sure. So the really nice thing is that because our analytical development, PD and testing is all within one campus, it's easy to kind of integrate those services, right? So as PD is finishing, it goes into our analytical development team to really develop the methods or kind of utilize our existing methods and to either qualify them or validate them depending on the phase. And then as we're moving through the manufacturing and as it goes through GMP, analytical development team actually pushes that to our operations or our testing services for that routine release. So it's sort of one simultaneous process, right, between starting something in PD to manufacturing to then being able to release it all within that one campus.
Okay, thank you. So you have capacity. Between the two of you, you said you have available capacity in manufacturing as well as the analytical development and testing services, and it's ready right now. Are there any areas that you have limited capacity, or from the drug sponsor point of view, anything that you would highlight that, boy, this is a bottleneck, and here's what you can do to avoid the slowdown?
So maybe I'll cover the testing piece, and I'll let Jordan answer the
manufacturing. Okay, that was complex, so I'm sorry.
Go for it.
So I think from the testing perspective, I would say flow, right? We do have capacity in that, but I think with the potency assays that are there, flow cytometry is one of the things where it's not necessarily limited capacity, but it's something where we definitely are seeing where a lot more scientists would have to be hired, right? And it's something that becomes more stringent as we're progressing towards the forecast or the need for the market.
And then I think on the manufacturing side, the capacity question is sort of an interesting one because there is frankly a little bit of available capacity now. So while it's not necessarily constrained, it seems like industry-wide, I think everybody's focused on the potential approval for new assets in CGT. How many this year? How many is the industry predicting next year and the following year? But I think something may be a little bit more important to pay attention to, particularly in the cell therapy and CAR-T arena, is the approvals that we're seeing for earlier and earlier lines of treatment. So even though it's the same asset, with that, you're getting exponential increases in the demand for that same product. And I see in the public disclosures, that's already becoming readily apparent. And so with that, if we're not increasing supply quickly enough, I think you can very, very quickly see some of this capacity become overly constrained in the short to medium term.
That's a really great point, because this is moving very quickly. This entire space is evolving very quickly. So what looks like excess capacity in scaling could disappear pretty quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah, great point. Well, thank you, Jordan and Simona. Great presentation. Jordan Lovett and Simona Usite from WuXi Advanced Therapies. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Barry.